So I should point out, right, I think this is quite important for me to tell you, look, that before we came on air, I said to Tim, like, I'm going to ask you anything and everything about Spurs, right? Can I ask you about Spurs, your time there, what it was like to manage under Daniel Levy? And he was like, ask me whatever you want. I think that's quite important because sometimes you listen to the radio and you think, he's so not asking him a certain question, so I'm just going to ask you anything and everything, all right? Who's to blame for where Spurs are? Is it the manager? Is it Daniel Levy?
I think the manager always has to take responsibility. That's what. I mean, Antonio Conte never spends anywhere more than 2 years. So wherever he goes, he's always done it. I think it's the Italian job, possibly a little bit longer. But any other club side he's been at, he's been there 2 years. But he's also been to clubs where they spend an awful lot of money, and he brings them success. Because he has obviously a leg up because of the funds what they actually spend. Now, I think Tottenham actually spend money. I really do. I think Daniel Levy does back his managers, not to the extent of Man City, of course not, and what Chelsea have done over the years and still doing under Todd Bowley. But I think what they buy in for the money has not been good enough. So I think the recruitment is poor. Whoever's been in charge of that down the years, probably for the last 5, 6, maybe a little bit longer years. The manager obviously has a say in who he wants to the football club. There has been good ones along the way, but I think they've wasted a lot of money on average players who are blocking up pathways for their academy. I haven't seen no academy kids come through over the last 5 years. We've got Oliver Skip there now. They've spent so much money trying to replace him over the years. They've had Harry Winks, who they've sent out to Sampdoria. I've read an article from him recently saying he hadn't heard from anyone at Tottenham. They showed him no love. Now, I'm not saying that these boys are the answer to take them to win the Premier League in the future, but what I'm saying is they're better than what they brought in. So I think the recruitment guy needs to put his hand up. Whoever that has been and whoever it is now, he's not doing the manager any good anyway.
Let me ask you, there's a phrase that was born about, 10, 15 years ago, maybe less, maybe more, Spursy. Right? And it basically alludes to the fact that Spurs, for one reason or another, can't get over the line, right? Be it in a cup final or Champions League final, whatever you want to call it. They've had various managers. They've all spent money. But you could say the common denominator has been Daniel Levy. He's been there. His 10 years, the time he's been at Spurs has been at the same time where Spurs haven't been able to get over the line. Okay, now whenever you talk about Spurs, whenever Spurs fans phone up, 99% of them always say Daniel Levy's fault. Get him out of the club. Is he to blame for where Spurs are at the moment?
No.
In any shape or form?
Well, he's part of the process, of course he is, but no one forced Antonio Conte to go there. If he's talking about for the last 20 years they've not won anything under this ownership, and why? He was saying why? Then why did he go there? If he knew what the outcome was, why did he actually go there and waste 2 years of his footballing career? Did he think he had a magic wand to go and wave it around and all of a sudden win trophies? Daniel Levy's not picking a team away at Sheffield United when he's leaving out Harry Kane. That is an important thing. They're losing to games at the bottom end of the table. When listen, I'm first one to say we want top players coming to the Premier League, and certainly as a Tottenham man, you want top players coming to Tottenham. Now, Kulusevski's been outstanding. Bentancur's a good signing as well. But there's so many poor ones, so many average, so much wasted money, what they've spent. And there is no philosophy. The philosophy at the moment is, just get me top 4 and job done. And you have to say Antonio Conte's done his job. Because when he comes to the football club, Daniel would have said to him, what do you want? Or he would have said, I want to win something, Antonio. And he said, well, get me top 4. That's all I need you to do.
What's more important to Daniel Levy?
Top 4. Top 4.
A couple top 4.
Top 4, 100%. I mean, for the economics of the football club, everyone, we talk about Tottenham, and I didn't want to do it, but I'm going to do it now. Everyone always talks about the lovely training ground and an outstanding stadium, what they have. Who cares? If you're a player, I don't care. It's all great. It's add-ons, but I want to win. I want to win something. So I'd rather them have the worst stadium, but win some trophies. I don't think it's about the facility, what you're in. It's about who's in the facility and are you getting the best out of them? And are they hungry? Antonio's talking about players being too comfortable. Well, perhaps the training ground's too plush. Perhaps the stadium's too fancy for them. They are in a comfortable position. They are coming from all over the world. They are coming to London when they go to Harrods or Selfridges or wherever they want to go with their wives every single day, have the life of Riley. Listen, it's about winning ultimately, and you need that hungry player to want to win.
What did you make of Antonio Conte's outburst?
I loved it. I not love what he said too much, because when I see it from Daniel Levy's point of view, and he's really dissing the club, isn't he? And not only that, the ownership. And if they do want good players in the future, then he's tarnishing the football club. That's what he's doing. If you want to keep players like Harry Kane, which is crucial at the football club, if you want to win something, then it's tarnishing that opportunity as well. So I'm not sure Daniel Levy can let the towel wag the dog for too long.
So do you think you should sack him?
I think you should sack him. I really do. I'm surprised he hasn't done it by now. But I know one thing Daniel will not do is cut his nose off to spite his face. If he feels Antonio Conte is the best person to take him into fourth place, which is what they crave this season, then he'll keep hold of him.
Is it a risk if he sacks him? Is it a risk putting Ryan Mason in charge for the remainder of the season?
It's a risk putting anyone in charge between now and the end of the season. No guarantee. They're on the drop at the moment. There's teams with games in their hands who could leapfrog them. But you'd have to say, from Antonio's point of view, the criteria is get us in the top four. Done it last year, and he's in a good place to do it again this year. He looks like he don't want to stay at the football club. That's what it looks like. Whether it's Ryan Mason, whether it's Pochettino, whether it's Thomas Tuchel, whoever it is, it's going to be a risk between now and the end of the season to come in and keep them in the position where they're in, because without doubt, they're on the slide. I think they're still capable of doing it. I think that there's no outstanding candidate to be able to finish in the top four. I think they're in the mix. I think he's done a good job to put them in the mix. It's a horrible watch at times, watching Tottenham. But it's a horrible watch watching Antonio Conte's sides at any time, wherever he's been. So it's not his fault how the football is. He can only be right if the team wins.
Do you think Spurs fans expect too much? And by that I mean they're fourth in the Premier League. When you've got sides like Man City, you've got sides like Manchester United, you've got sides like Liverpool and Arsenal, of course, at the top, all trying to become Premier League champions. Yeah. Is it realistic for Spurs fans at the moment to think they should be doing more than just top four?
Yeah, because they crave that. This is a huge football club. But like I say, it's like Antonio saying, they haven't won anything for so many years. You got to buck the trend in the end. Someone has to go in there and win. If you was to take over as Tottenham manager tomorrow, the criteria is top four. And for next season, though, you'll be hell-bent going out trying to win the Carabao Cup, because you're going to be a legend at the football club. That is what it's about. It's about winning.
But not for Daniel Levy.
Not for Daniel Levy. Daniel Levy wants the top four because he's looking for the business side. If I had a business and I wanted someone to run it, it'd be Daniel Levy.
Yeah. Why do you think he sacked Jose Mourinho the week before the cup final?
Because he felt that was the best thing for the football club. His decisions are not based on what he wants to do. It's what he feels is the best interest of the football club at all times. Him and Joe Lewis run that club very, very well. And the fans will say, it ain't very well because we ain't won nothing. But as a business, they run it very well. They just need a football person in there who they can trust. And at the moment, I don't think they have that. And I don't think they've had that for many, many years, because they're being told this one's a good one, that one's not a good one. All these recruitment guys who they've had have not done them proud. They've given them a lot of bang average players. And like I say, the academy's dried up. There is no players coming through. Where is the pathway? If I had a young kid of 15 now, would I send him to Tottenham? No.
But isn't the fact that there's no youth coming through, isn't that partly to do with Daniel Levy?
No, maybe took it there, but that's not his priority now.
No, but if he's in charge, I'm playing devil's advocate here. If he's in charge of the club...
Yeah.
But he's running it.
Yeah, but he wants the priority. Can't have it both ways, because what he's told for many, many years by these managers who come in, these trophy managers, Mourinho's and Conte's, is that you can't look at the kids. Can't look at the kids because they'll let you down. But I always say, so would a 50, 100, 70 million pound player let you down as well. So I judge them on a level playing field. A lot of these managers don't. They want the here and now. They want the expensive player because they think that they will do the job instantly. It's not always the case.
So you think the big problem at Tottenham is recruitment?
Yeah.
That's the big problem.
That's the huge problem. The huge problem. And they do get some right, but every 5 players, they get one right. There's too many bang average players on big money, which they could use very, very wisely elsewhere.
And just quickly as well, just recapping what you said, you think that Antonio Conte should be sacked?
I think when you criticise the club like he has done, I think that, like I say, you cannot let the tail wag the dog for that length of time and say that many things about the ownership of the football club. And I think that they have to, and I believe they will, get rid of him. But, like I say, Daniel Levy will only do what he thinks is right for the football club. And if he feels there's no one better to take over, and we talked about a risk being in Ryan Mason, whoever it is. Ryan's a great lad, done a great job before standing in. But it's always going to be a risk. But he will feel perhaps it's a risk keeping Antonio Conte as well.
Okay. If Ryan Mason got the gig to the end of the season and phoned you up and said, come and help, would you go?
Absolutely.
talkSPORT Drive with Andy Goldstein. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.